Hi, I'm Peter Rose, founder of Longwood Currency Trading. Don't doubt yourself in your currency trading efforts. Have faith and everything will work out if you've got a good framework. So that's what I'd like to chat with you a little bit about today. We're in the end of April of 2023. It's 81 degrees outside, a big change from the weather we've normally had. So I'd like to take you out on a walk with me as I walk Bo out through the woods and chat a little bit about having this confidence in yourself to make it happen. Oh, here we go. Look, bear with me through this video because there is more to it than just a walk around through the woods. There's purpose to the videos that I do, but I want to be relaxed about it and make sure that you see that life is more than trading. It has to be, because if you don't have a good life, if you're not settled in your own life, then how do you expect to be a good trader? How do you expect to have confidence? I'm just saying, don't give up. Get started and have faith in yourself. How do you have faith in yourself if you're getting bad education in the currency markets, or you're trying to mimic somebody that's driving around in his Lambo and yeah, that's what he did, but what's he going to teach you? How's he going to teach you? He'll teach you Bollinger Bands and pips and just confuse you. Have faith in your ability to view somebody and the information that they're providing, or even if it's not somebody, maybe it's a book or a course or something that you're doing, is to have faith in your ability to look at that material and say, wow, that material makes sense, and it has a progression of training or learning that makes sense, and I think I can do it. There's the big key thing. I think I can do it. What happened to the dog? Hey, Bo! Bo, he's here. He slipped off into the woods. Bo and I have already been out for a walk today we went up across to another mountain, and there's a parking area and kind of a hidden trail system that goes back through the woods. It was just beautiful. We did that earlier this morning, so this is just going to be a short one. You know, a lot of folks that I talk with really don't have as much of a positive self-image than they could have if they were able to change the way that they think. But when you're looking at what other people say about you, or how they interact with you, or maybe you've had some failures in your life that have built a bad taste in your mouth for maybe a particular kind of job. It's the only job you know how to do, but you're not that good at it, and you don't enjoy it maybe, and that's why you're not that good at it. And you're just spinning your wheels, so you're looking for something else to do in your life that will provide you an income. Well, okay, currency trading could be that, or it could be just another failure along your line. That's your decision. I've spent over 55 years now in the martial arts, and coming out of 40 years investment in real estate. I've got a degree in physics. Okay, so I'm accomplished. I've done things. But nobody wrote me a check and handed me anything. I had to go to school and do the learning. I had to go to the interviews and interview for the jobs and get the jobs that I had. I had to study real estate. I had to ask questions. I had to learn before I put up tens of thousands of dollars to purchase a piece of property. And I had to know how to manage that property, and whether I should be flipping it or whether I should be holding it for long term, and what was long term and what were the goals. Nobody gave me anything. Nobody gives you anything. There are folks out there, such as myself, that are willing to teach you and to work with you and to mentor you. I can do that minimally to try to point you in the right direction, and then it's up to you to do the work. I'm happy to work with you for no charge. if I can point you in the right direction. But if your background isn't structured such that you really know how to take some ideas and run them out into a full-blown action process, you're going to need more help. Who are you going to trust? I mean, what are you going to do? So, I don't know. You know, if I was sitting down with you, I could probably talk you through this better than I'm going to do it on a video that nobody's going to watch because, geez, it's about touchy-feely things, about emotions and confidence and all that other stuff. Nobody wants to hear about that. Y'all want to hear about how fast can I get enough money to buy a Lambo? How quick can I build up my account? How do I take my little $300 and build that up to $30,000? Well, I just saw some fool out there. They had a $500 account and they ran that to $20,000. That's what I want to be able to do. Let me tell you something. As someone with a very extensive mathematics background, there's a branch of that math called probability and statistics, right? If you trade a lot, there's a very high statistical probability that you will have 6 losers in a row. And so part of risk management is saying, well, I'm probably going to have that 6 losers in a row, so I should plan for that. Why aren't they teaching you what you should do if you had the 6 winners in a row? Because of that survey that I quote all the time, or the study that a major Forex broker did over 43 million client transactions, 25,000 customers, 90% of them lost 90% of their money in 90 days. But 72% of the trades that they made were profitable, and only 30% were failures, but they still lost 90% of their money in 90 days. So it means that the losers were far in excess of the winners. And so instead of figuring that out, or instead of asking the right questions, they talk to the wrong people, they get the wrong information, and they go and they do it again. And then they're out of money. You know, that's like going to, you want to study history in college. And so you go and you take your first class, and it's in German. You have to take a language. You know, the German doesn't have anything to do with learning history. I don't want to do all this work. And so you quit. But you wanted to do history. There's a price that you have to pay. And that price is to become educated across the board on many different things so that you can put things into their perspective historically. History is very important. I believe he was a Spanish or Portuguese philosopher, Santayana, said, those who fail from history are doomed to repeat it. And so if you're not as successful at your trading as you think that you should be based on the amount of time that you've spent studying or whatever, maybe it's because you're doing the same thing. Maybe you need to change what you're doing. So what do you change? How do you change? What's the difference that you can do in order to build your confidence in yourself that you're on the right track? Just trading is not being on the right track. I mean, if you're trying to learn how to play poker, for example, and you're throwing your ante into the pot, but you never make a follow-up bet, you always fold out. All you're going to do is lose your ante. How do you improve? How do you know what to do? Unless there's somebody there that says, oh, hey, by the way, when they drop the flop, you got to bet. You know, it just doesn't make any sense to me when I talk to someone that solving that issue for that person is so simple that the reason that I can make it simple is because there's so much information and so much stuff, and I could do air quotes over stuff if I wanted to, but I won't. There's so much information. Just look at the trading itself. There's so much information. Where do you start? How do you get going? You know what? The Chinese say that the longest of journeys begins with the first step. But it's important to know what that first step is, because you could be stepping backwards. You could be stepping on a rock or thin ice or whatever. Hey, Bo, we're going to go in because you know what? It's hot out here. How can you have how can you have faith in what you're trying to do if you have no faith in yourself? If you don't have a reasonable plan for what you're going to do? What are you going to do? You open an account and, oh, price is going up, I'll buy. And then it goes against you and you sell and you lose. And you do that same thing over a few more times and you lose. And you go, well, maybe I don't want to buy. Every time I buy, it goes against me. So instead, when I think I'm going to buy, I'll sell. So you sell and it goes against you. And then it turns around and goes in a positive direction. And you lose again. And you become frustrated. How do you build a positive self-image that way? You can't. However, if you could figure out for yourself a logical learning plan, then you'd be all set. The losses and the gains wouldn't make any difference as they progress through. They're just part of the learning process. When you sit down to play poker or cards for the first time, you don't expect to win. And if you get hammered really badly, you go, oh, maybe I better check that book on strategy and figure out what I should be doing in this particular situation. And then you try that and it doesn't work, but it was in the book. It's good education, so I'm gonna keep doing it because I have faith in whoever taught me that should be the thing that I do. Well, that's the thing that you should do in that particular situation, but there's so many variations and gradations around that you may have to fail at that 2 or 3 times to say, though that's the place to do it, that might not be the time to do it. And that's really at the crux of what I teach in the solution path of entry analysis, position management, exit methodology, that is the life cycle of a currency position, is solving for each one of those phases the problems behind the what, the how, and the when. I am here to tell you that any dumbass can teach you the what and the how, but there are very few that understand the importance of the when part of it. I can say that I understand it because of my background in physics and my 40 years in real estate investment and mathematics and martial arts training and all the rest of the stuff, and it doesn't mean anything until you sit down and you look at the process that I can unfold for you to show you how to go from A to B to C instead of trying to go from A to G right away. Although you may be able to go to A to G, at some point along up there you don't have the information and you'll get knocked back. Any dumbass can get into a small 12 or 13 foot sailboat and get out and sail around in the pond. But all of a sudden a big gust of wind comes up, you don't know what to do, you're going to flip that boat. Look at your life, at the things that you've had to do in your life, and the steps that you had to go through before you were successful. Driving a car. Did you just jump in the car and then get on the freeway and go? No. That would end very badly, wouldn't it? You might get away with it 1 or 2 times, but eventually you're going to get crunched or kill somebody else. There's a correct process for everything. If you can understand what that process is, you may not be very good at it, but you'll have confidence that in the long run, your continued persistence in working through a correct process will bring you the success that you're seeking. Peter Rose, Longwood Currency Trading. Have a great day and have a great trading day.